Hi, guys. I just want to send out a thank you to every single person who has sent out a prayer of support towards me and my situation. I thank you guys so very much. The outpour of the prayers and support that I've been getting, I'm very, very, very appreciative for everybody. So, thank you guys for anybody who sent out a prayer and supporting me in my time of need. You're very thankful. I'm very thankful to you and I'm very appreciative. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for the outpour of support and love. I appreciate it. And I wanted to talk to you about being chosen because I know that the things that I am enduring right now is because I'm chosen. I recall when I used to go to this church, right? This is my first experience in church. I didn't grow up in a church background, so this was my first church experience. So the pastor had told me, that I'm chosen. She ain't tell me nothing else but that I'm chosen to stand in the gap for my family. And so I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't have a clue what she was talking about. I didn't know what that meant, and I definitely didn't know what it entailed. Okay, being chosen is not an easy path, and people who are chosen, they go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and it feels like we're on a punishment. It feels like we'll start feeling like we did something wrong. We'll start feeling like, why is God punishing us, or why am I going through this much? A lot of us don't know we're chosen because our paths are different. You know what I'm saying? Because God wants us to be able to build a relationship with him solely. We're not supposed to be dependent on earthly relationships and earthly beings. We're supposed to, our faith and our trust is solely supposed to come from the Lord himself. you know um and he divides us, he separates us, he causes us to be separated from the family, friends, and things of that nature. Most of us, a lot of us, cannot work and hold a job, because it's not that we're doing anything wrong. It's because he has a higher purpose that a job cannot fulfill. We our purpose is so much higher than what a lot of humans can comprehend, and they don't. A lot of people don't get it. Um, so every moment of pain, every moment of distance that's felt, is God chiseling away, the excess, and He's bringing you forth strength, resilience that only He, can do to shape you. It's to shape you, to prepare you, because you're on a training ground. This is your training ground for your higher purpose. You're a warrior. So you were meant to fight spiritually. You know what I'm saying? And this is a spiritual battle, So your purpose is higher than some human comprehensions, The separation is deliberate because he needs to keep you apart so that he can do the work within you to build you for the purpose that he has over your life, Um, and you were never meant to be confined by earthly relationships that cannot grasp the magnitude of your purpose. This is why a lot of the times we're separated from people, because the people around us, they can't grasp. It's a big magnitude of what your purpose is for. We have a mission, and we're gonna have to be able to carry this mission. We're not gonna be able to have those relationships because those people are going to distract us. They don't comprehend it. They may try to talk you out of it. You may become complacent. You know, um, and it's to build your strength and your resilience. So that you don't walk around fear filled, because you have a purpose, and you can't be afraid. He didn't give us a spirit of fear anyways. He gave us a spirit of power, of love, and a sound mind. And we have to be resilient, we have to be strong, in the battle. And it's hard. The battle is hard. And I didn't get told these things. Nobody said, okay, you're going to be separated. You're going to go through a lot of trials and tribulations. It's going to be hard. It's going to be scary. They didn't tell me that. They just told me I'm going to be chosen. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. But when I started to realize certain things that I'm enduring, I'm like, oh, wow. And then the more I started to learn, the more I started to study, the more I started to get it. I'm like, oh, and our walk is similar to the Lord's. you know um it was hard. They crucified him. They falsely accused him, and all these types of things. You're going to go through a lot of the things that the Lord went through, because again, you have a higher purpose, you have a higher calling. And that calling, that purpose is harder than, the average person. So if you find yourself going through a lot of trials, tribulations, persecutions, you feel like you're set back, or you feel like, you can't get things right, or you're exhausted because life is kicking your butt, life is lifing, it's because you have a higher calling. And and I know that my circumstance that I'm going through, I have to laugh because it's like, what, it feels like it's unfair, but it may be, but it's because you're chosen. Your purpose ain't like everybody else's. You're not like everyone else, and you got to stop looking at yourself as such. You know what I'm saying? You have it's not that you're better than them. It's not that, no, it's just because your purpose, who you are called to be, is higher than what they can grasp, what they can understand, what you probably can understand for yourself too. So I know what I'm going through. I'm just expressing myself. I'm just getting some things out because you guys are my community. You guys are my support. You guys are the people who I come to, since I've been, separated. So, I come to share, I come to let you guys in. I come to let you guys know who I am, and to encourage you guys, to inspire you guys too, because this walk is not easy. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not chosen, life itself ain't easy. But for a chosen one, we got 10 times more, things that we got to overcome, we got to deal with, because again, our purpose is much higher, the calling is much higher, and we are going to be separated. We are going to be looked at differently. People are not going to understand us. They're not even going to like us. A lot of times we're not going to be liked for no reason. We're not going to, I know I experienced a lot of people not liking me because of who I am, and they look down at me like, who she thinks she is, or whatever. I didn't choose me. God chose me. I didn't choose this. God chose me. You know what I'm saying? And so now I'm doing his will as best as I know how. So, again, it's like I said, it's not a stumbling block, it's a stepping stone. See, I got my notes. I got, oh my goodness, all these notes, all these things that I got to share. This speaks about, chosen people, us chosen ones. We are defined by a divine calling that marks our life. Our lives are not the same. We are not alone. We are not alone, because there's a lot of other chosen people that's in this world, that are going through the same things we go through. And again, it's not a punishment. It's not a punishment. It's to free us from the worldly attachments, to fulfill God's purpose for our lives. So again, thank you guys again for the prayers, the support that you have been showing me during my time. But I know I'm overcoming this. I know who I am, and I know whose I am, and I know what, let go and let God. And so that's exactly what I'm doing. So I encourage you to do the same thing. And thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. And if anything, like it, okay? If you feel the need to comment, let me know. Let me hear from you in the comments, okay? And until next time, I hope you guys have the most amazingest day, okay? And thanks again for your prayers and support. Thanks.